Our first guest is no stranger to a lot of you, especially if you're either a JA baseball fan or perhaps a Mississippi State baseball fan. As the head coach of the JA Raiders, entering his 10th season as the head coach. And Coach Jay Powell, how you doing?
Good. How you doing today, Brian?
Doing very well. And of course, this past year, it was more, or this past couple of weeks actually, some big news came your way. I know never easy to talk about yourself and your accolades, but it's got to be pretty cool to be nominated to the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame.
It was, you know, as a kid growing up, you always dream of certain things. You know, you dream of playing, you know, professional baseball. You dream of playing in the major leagues. You know, one thing I never thought would actually come true was playing in the World Series. You know, and being able to do that was pretty cool. But, you know, also something like the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, it never really dawns on you. So it was a neat deal. It was quite humbling and very appreciative.
You got quite a big class you're going in with too. Some pretty star-studded guys.
It is. You know, Coach Brady was coaching at Jackson State when I was at Mississippi State, and I kind of got to know him pretty well. Marcus Dupree was, of course, as a kid growing up in Lauderdale County, everybody knew who Marcus Dupree was. Yeah, it's a great class with a great group of guys and girls, and like I said, it is definitely quite the honor.
Now, next August is when the induction ceremony will take place, and he'll be forever enshrined in the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about JA baseball, of course. And speaking of honors, you've got a young freshman by the name of Kellum Clark who came to JA last year as an 8th grader and is already making some headway in the national rankings.
Yeah, Kellum is a pretty special player in the sense that he is. You know, he has a very, very high ceiling. I mean, you look at him from an athletic standpoint, he's a big kid, he's strong, he kind of checks all the boxes as far as what college and professional scouts are looking for. He runs well, he hits for power, he's got a great arm, he's got good feet. You know, I know that sounds crazy, but as a middle or as a corner infield guy, they look at him and they say, well, he can project and play corners, or he can play the corner in the outfield. He's got a chance to be really, really good. And, you know, we've had some very good players come through here. And, you know, where he's at in 4 years, it could be something very special.
What does it say when a guy like his dad, David, wants him to learn under you? I mean, that's got to feel pretty, I know, again, humbling.
Well, it is. And, you know, at the same time, I think, you know, for the most part, we've had a pretty good track record of keeping guys healthy. And I always say I'll never put a kid in jeopardy to get hurt from a pitching standpoint or anything like that to win a game. I mean, we're just not going to do that. You know, we had Sam go down this year, but, you know, for the most part, compared to a lot of places, we've been pretty fortunate. And part of that is luck, but at the same time, you know, part of it is our system we have, and we think it works. You know, with that being said, you know, David is, you know, he's putting a lot of faith in us as a coaching staff. And, you know, he knows my background in college baseball and my background in professional baseball, so I think that kind of plays into where Kellum, you know, could possibly be in 3 or 4 years.
You can either hurt my feelings right now or you can make me really happy. What's your World Series prediction for this year? He's going to hurt my feelings.
Well, no, I'll say this. Tonight is the most pressure that's ever been on the Chicago Cubs in the history of the organization. If they don't win tonight, they're going to get the doors blown off tomorrow night or the next Game 5.
That's not what I want to hear.
Well, and it's, you know, they're the most talented team, but so many times you start getting in these situations to where you can tell, you can sense it, you know, and you can sense getting that lead late in the game, and then it's almost like we talked about before the show. Why put you on the road? You're up 2-0, and he puts his closer in to start the 8th inning. Just stuff like that normally you don't do in the regular season, and all of a sudden managers start doing that kind of stuff in the postseason. It just makes no sense. And they have a tendency to overmanage a little bit, and it puts guys in positions to where they're not normally used to being in, and kind of gets them to be, you know, in spots they're not successful. But prediction-wise, I mean, I still like the Cubs. I think they're the best team. But it's hard to bet against the Giants. But I would say, right now, I would say the Blue Jays and Cubs would be my prediction.
Okay, so it may feel a little bit better with the overall prediction. So August of next year is when you get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then first pitch for the Raiders is when?
Middle of February. I like this group. I think this is, you look at our pitchers the last few years, and most of our innings have been thrown by guys that have either been ninth graders or 10th graders, and now those guys are juniors. And you know as well as I do that if you're going to win and win consistently at any level, you got to have good pitching, and we have. But most of those guys have been young. So, other than Price this year being a senior as far as pitching and Parker Alexander, those are the only two guys that are older guys. Most of these guys are juniors that have logged most of our innings the last few years. So I like this group. I think we got a shot to be to have a pretty good team and a pretty good year.
You need to head out to Raider Park. It's a great venue for baseball, for that matter. Jay, baseball for sure. And next August, check out Coach Jay Powell's induction into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame and Museum.